How is your school going, Janavi?
It's going good, Mataji.
How is your fourth
At
grade?
least I could talk to her.
Hey, Janavi, I have a question for you. So, in your school also, it is primary school, elementary school until which grade?
5th grade.
One second. Okay. Elementary school until which grade, Nana?
5th grade.
Oh, you have until 5th grade. Here
Yes.
in Constitution, only 4th grade.
Oh,
Really? Most
Yeah.
elementary schools in Lubbock is up to 5th grade only. We start middle school in 6th grade.
Oh, that is a middle school, 6th grade that you call.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, 5th and 6th, some school, intermediate school, or some school they will call. I don't know what school is that.
Most school goes up, elementary goes up to 5th grade only, I think.
Yeah, only here I saw in College Station, they have only until 4th grade in that elementary.
5th and 6th intermediate.
I think.
Rocky was fun, Rocky.
And then I think high school starts at 9th grade, I think.
I don't know, Janavi, anything. I will see when Brunda goes now. I will know what is exactly happening here. But I know that they don't have 5th grade in the elementary school.
It's going to be 1 grade ahead of me. I want to jump to her grade.
Okay, that's...
Is there like a school like just for 5th graders? Like a separate school only for 5th grade?
No, 5th grade and 6th grade.
5th and 6th.
Intermediate. At Cypress Road over here.
I think.
Yeah, Samskriti. Yes, Samskriti. You also have a 5th and 6th separate in your place, or you have combined?
In all of my schools, they have in one school they have up till 8th grade from kindergarten.
Even Advait said something like that. Even Advait and I remember
Ramachandra?
No. Abhinav also said the same thing, that they have one school until 8th grade or something.
7th.
But I have the other school I go to, the Gurukul, has up till 10th grade, Mataji.
Wow. But the one you are going public school, but if someone goes to public school, one school has until 8th grade, that is really good.
Yeah.
So you will feel like a small kids if you're going to the same school. It's really good. Yeah.
Well, it's only in 5th grade, and I think middle school is 6th, 7th.
Oh, look at Sadhu. He's joining the class. Sadhu. He likes moving his eyebrows. Yeah. In the chanting call, he did that. Oh, he's smiling. Oh, Sadhu.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Radhika, KasturiMataji. If anybody would like to start chanting Hare Krishna, will be great. Okay, one time each one. Okay? Okay, Brinda says first, and then Ramachandra. He's the one who joined first in the class today.
Okay. Mommy, could you put the computer to me?
Quickly, Brinda. I have other works to do.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Mataji, we can't hear Balavinda.
What is that?
We can't hear her at all.
Oh, you cannot hear now?
No,
don't play this.
We can hear now, but
yeah, can you sing now?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna Mataji.
Oh, you're muted, Mataji.
Yeah.
Ramachandra, can you quickly sing one time Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. Radhika, KasturiMataji, over to you, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much. Beautiful Vrinda and Ramachandra. Very nice. Anybody else wants to go for Hare Krishna? I'm more than happy. Ryan, you want to?
My brother sing first.
Okay.
Hare Rama.
He doesn't want
I forgot it. He doesn't want it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Mataji.
Wonderful. Thank you, kids. Mataji, we have a sloka for this session, right? I think.
Yes, Mataji, we have sloka, Mataji.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just project from the Veda base.
Yeah. Which one, Mataji? Which?
1.5.11, Mataji.
1.5.1. Okay.
Yeah. I gave you host, Mataji. I will join. I am just preparing for my class. I didn't prepare at all. I am leaving from this. Vrunda will join from a phone, Mataji.
Sure. Go ahead, Mataji. Okay. Om Madhyana Timirandasya Anjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschayata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sorry, kids, I don't know why the video got turned off. Anyways, so let's get started, kids, with the verse for today. I'll just project my screen and you can all raise your hands up if you want to. Go ahead and recite this verse for me, okay? All right. Oh, sorry. This is not the screen I wanted. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. Can you raise your hand so I can call out?
For what, Mataji?
Dear, this one. Tatvag Visargo Janataha Viplavo. Reciting that verse. You know that, Vrinda? Or you want to try it later?
Mataji, I'm gonna try. Okay, Mataji, could I try?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Wait. Wait.
Tatvag Visargo Janataha Viplavo.
Tadvag Visargo. Wait, Mataji, I want to listen to someone and then I'll.
Okay. Ramachandra, can you recite this verse and then let Janvi go? Can you make sure to do one line and then have everyone repeat it?
Okay. Tadvag Visargo Janataga. Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplavo.
Tatvag Visargo. All of you repeat. Tatvag Visargo Janataha Viplavo.
Yasmin Pratilokamabaddhavatapi.
Yasmin
Pratilokamabaddhavatapi. Namanyantasya Yasonikatanya. Namanyantasya Yasonikatanya. Srinvanti Gayanti Granati Sadhava. Srinvanti Gayanti Granati Sadhava.
Okay, now Janavi, thank you, dear Ramachandra. Okay, Janavi, dear.
Tatvag Visarga Janata Saviplava Yasmin Pratiso Kama Padratayapti Namahani Anantasya Soa Nikatyani Yachana
Yeshom Kitaniyat.
Tisvadaha.
Very good, very good. Anybody else wants to try? Anybody else, dears? Tatvag Visargo Janataha Viplavo Yasmin Pratislokam Abhatavakyapi Namanyanantasya Yeshom Kitaniyat Shrivanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadavaha. I can help you. Anybody else wants to try? Okay, maybe next time. Okay. Okay, Shubhadra, go ahead. Giridhari. Giridhari, what happened to you? You're not coming to the classes?
Mataji, I didn't got time so much, Mataji. So sorry, Mataji.
Oh, no problem, dear. You are very busy doing other spiritual activities.
Yes, Mataji.
What are you doing?
I was doing Bhagavad Gita classes and yeah, I got carried away, Mataji. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, no worries, dear. I know you're always doing something or the other. That's good. So why don't you recite this verse?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Tadva Visharga Janataga Viplava Yasmin Pratishlokam Abhadvavati Api Namanyantasya Yashanikantanyat Srivandi Gayanti Grinanti Shadava.
Very nice, very nice. Namanyanantasya Yeshom Kitaniyat. Okay. And Yasmin Pratislokam Abhadhavakyapi. Okay. Anyways, very good, dear. Thank you so much for trying. Let's get started with today's verse and we will go there. It's a little bit of a technical chapter, but you guys are very smart. So you can pretty much understand everything. I'm not worried. Okay. So this is the third chapter, third canto, 28th chapter, and we are going into the verse number 21 for today. Now, here we are specifically seeing what, let's get an overview. 1 minute. Let's go to the advanced view and remove synonyms. Okay. So we, at least we'll go to the previous verse, like maybe 20th verse. Yeah. Okay. So in fixing the mind on the eternal form of the Lord, a yogi should not take a collective view of all the limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limbs of the Lord. So what is Srila Prabhupada telling here? Prabhupada is telling for this Ashtanga yogi, he should not do a meditation of the collective view of the limbs. And only how he has to meditate? He has to meditate on each limb of the Lord. This is the form of meditation he carries out. Okay. So that is verse number 20. And if we move on to 21, and he says, a devotee should first concentrate his mind where on Lord's lotus feet, which is adorned with the marks of the thunderbolt, a gourd, a banner, and the lotus. The splendor of this beautiful ruby nails resembles the orb of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart. So Mayavadi says, one is unable to fix the mind on the impersonal existence of the absolute truth. One can imagine any form he likes and fixes his mind on that imaginary form, but such a process is not recommended. Imagination is always imagination and results only in further imagination. So what Prabhupada is telling here is that we are supposed to not only meditate on the form of the Lord, but how that meditation on the form has to be carried out. It has to be carried out starting with the meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord. Then you have to go limb by limb and meditate on that particular limb. What does this signify? What does that signify? What does the lotus feet signify? What are the symbols in the lotus feet of the Lord? Like that, a yogi starts to meditate and contemplate upon the Lord's limbs individually. 1 minute, dear kids. I just have some news for my son. 1 minute. He just got back from school. Just give me. So this is what is the limb by limb meditation a yogi has to carry out. But what does the Mayavadi do? A Mayavadi, he imagines the form of the Lord and he does meditation of that imagination. And that kind of imagination or meditation is not at all recommended. That is why Srila Prabhupada has specified a concrete description of the eternal form of the Lord is given here. The Lord's soul is depicted with distinctive lines resembling a thunderbolt, a flag, a lotus flower, and a goat. If a yogi looks upon the marks of the Lord's soul and blazing brilliance of his nails, he can be freed from the ignorance of material existence. The liberation is not achieved by mental speculation, but by seeing the light emanating from the lustrous lotus nails of the Lord. In other words, one has to fix his mind on first the lotus feet of the Lord to be freed from ignorance of the material existence. See, each of the symbols in the lotus feet of the Lord represent a particular thing. And these yogis starts to meditate and contemplate upon those things. And what does this do? Since he is constantly meditating upon them, he is freed from the ignorance of material existence. So this is 21 verse number. And then 22. 22, the blessed Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head the holy waters of Ganges, which has its source in the water that wash the Lord's lotus feet. Lord's feet acts like a thunderbolt hurled to shatter the mountain of sin stored in the mind of a meditating devotee. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for the long time. Again, this verse, he just specified what? About Shiva. Shiva, what does it say? Shiva has become more blessed because why? He has taken, see, from the toenails of the Lord, the Ganges water touched the toenails of the Lord and it came to Shiva, right? And this water is the Ganges. This is washed by Lord's lotus feet. And thus, what does this symbolize? This symbolizes that the lotus feet of the Lord is able to shatter millions of lifetimes of sin a devotee has. Therefore, one should meditate upon this Lord's lotus feet for a long, long time. This is what is said in verse number 22. And then 23. Let's go quickly because we have a lot of verses to cover. This talks about the fact a yogi should meditate or fix his heart on the activities of Lakshmi or goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all the demigods, the mother of the supreme person, Brahma. She can always be found where massaging the legs and thighs of the transcendental Lord, very, very carefully serving him in this way. This is what, Srila Prabhupada, in the purport he says, Brahma is the appointed Lord of the universe. Because his father is Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, automatically becomes the mother, and Lakshmi is worshipped by all the demigods and the inhabitants of the other planets as well. Human beings are also eager to receive favor from goddess of fortune. Hey kids, anybody in this particular forum doesn't want money? Anybody says no to money? Anybody says no to Lakshmi? Are you all ready to go to a hut and live in a hut or a campground? Is it possible?
No.
No. So this is what is the point. Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. Who doesn't want Lakshmi? Who wants Lakshmi or who doesn't want Lakshmi? Isha, what about you?
I want Lakshmi.
You want Lakshmi. So this is the point that is being talked about in today's purport. What Srila Prabhupada says is, see, everybody hankers for the goddess of fortune and goes to goddess of fortune asking for favor from goddess of fortune, that is Lakshmi ji. But when it comes to Lakshmi ji, what is she doing? She is trying to massage the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the glory. And, so ultimately what we have to aspire for? To aspire to surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay? Are you all getting the point, dear kids?
Mataji.
Yeah.
But we can also want Lakshmi to use in the devotional service of Krishna. Like when Guru Maharaj gives initiation, they get dakshina, and when they get dakshina, they get the service of the Lord.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's up to you guys to how you want to utilize this Lakshmi for. And yeah, go ahead, Subhadra.
Mataji. Mataji, so we can, like Janavi said, that we can use Lakshmi in any type of service, because Lakshmi Devi is always busy massaging Vishnu's feet, so we can use her service to do the service of Krishna consciousness.
Yes. But to use her money for Krishna, because then she can stay with Krishna constantly.
Yes. So that way she will stay with Krishna constantly. If we engage it in the service of Krishna, then Lakshmi will not be Sanchala. Lakshmi is what? Always fickle, right? She'll jump from here to another person. Oh, she's first here in Subhadra, and then she will go to Giridhar, she will go to Isha. Why she's jumping around? If we don't use it in Krishna consciousness, then she will keep on jumping around. Okay, kids. So that's the point. And we understand from this purport, one important thing, Brahmaji's father is Garbhodakshay Vishnu and his mother is ultimately, even though he was born just from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, we can indirectly understand his mother is Lakshmi ji. That is why it is mentioned that Lakshmi ji is the mother of Brahma. Lakshmi is always engaged and busy in massaging the thighs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, who is lying in the ocean of Garbha within the universe. Brahma is described as the son of goddess of fortune, but actually he was not born from her womb. Brahma takes birth from the abdomen of the Lord itself. The lotus flower grows from the abdomen of Garbhodakshay Vishnu and Brahma is born there. Therefore, Lakshmi ji massaging of the thighs of the Lord should not be taken as the behavior of an ordinary wife. The Lord is transcendental to the behavior of ordinary male and female. The word Abha Vasya is very significant, for it indicates he could produce Brahma without the assistance of goddess of fortune. It shows the glory of the Lord. Here in this material world, if a child were to be born, a mother and a father have to come together to get the child in the womb. But in case of, Brahmaji, just Lord Garbhodakshay Vishnu himself was enough to get Brahmaji. So that is the glory which is being pointed out in the purport. Since the transcendental behavior is different from mundane behavior, it should not be taken. It should not be taken that the Lord receives service from his wife just as the demigod or human being might have received service from his wife. It is advised here the yogi always keeps picture in his heart. The devotee always thinks about relationship between Lakshmi and Narayana. Therefore, he does not meditate on the mental plane as impersonalists and voidists do. Again, we have to understand the difference here. We always talk about, when we say Lakshmi ji, we think about the relationship Lakshmi has with Narayan. And we always meditate on that relationship, on that pastime. If we were to think about Krishna, we think about Radha, the highest devotee of the Lord. Like that, we always go on, start meditating upon the Lord in response to the relationship that they hold. Okay, they do not mentally speculate something and imagine and do nothing of that sort. When we think about pastimes, we think about Acharya's commentary. We think about Prabhupada's commentary. Then we get realizations what Acharyas have got. At least we try to understand their realizations, understand their commentary. This is what a devotee does. And then what he does when it comes to preaching, he repeats the words of the Acharyas. We are not supposed to mentally come up with something. Oh, based on this, I thought something, I did something. Based on that, this is what should have happened. No, we don't mentally speculate, but we just leave it up to the Acharyas and then repeat it like a parrot. Okay, kids. So 24th verse. Next to yogi. So what all we have seen in terms of meditation, he meditates on the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he meditates. So there we spoke about Lakshmi ji, Mataji. There we talked about, first we talked about Shiva, right? From the Ganges water emanating from the toenails of the Lord, Shiva has that. And then we also saw Lakshmi ji. What is she doing? She's always massaging the lotus feet of the Lord. This shows what does this meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord do? It removes the darkness of ignorance that the yogi has in his heart. This is what that does. And that is why he has to do this meditation. That too, can he meditate on the whole limb of the Lord? No. He has to meditate part by part, limb by limb, he has to meditate. Are you all clear so far?
Yes, Mataji.
Good. I know Janvi listened. Anybody else listened? Yes. Yeah, Brinda also listened. Okay. Who else? Nobody else listened? What about Isha? Isha also? Okay, good. Aradhita listened. Okay, good. Stylish Samskriti. What happened?
Yes, Mataji, I listened. Sorry, I'm eating. So.
Oh, okay, good. Shubhat Giridhari listened. Okay, Ramachandra, what happened to you, dear?
I'm listening.
Good. Okay. Just wanted to see if you're all awake, okay? I know it's only 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Eastern time, right? Not even 7:41.
Mataji, for me, it's 6:41. I'm about to have my dinner.
What dinner? What special?
I think it's dosa. I don't know.
Wow, very nice. Yeah.
Mataji?
Uh-huh.
So, like you said that about the examples, like about Brahma, Shiva, and Lakshmi, because they're all three characters, main important about devotional service to Narayan or God or Krishna, because Lakshmi Devi massages. You said that you talk about Lakshmi Devi massaging the feet of Narayana, which is like cleanses our heart from darkness, from ignorance. And Brahma was born from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and also Shiva, Lord Shiva was carried the Ganges River on his head by the mercy of Narayana.
The point, Giridhari, what I was trying to tell is how the devotees are looking out for the Lord's lotus feet. Lord's Charanamrit was received by Lord Shiva because he felt that was very important. That is why he took a hold of that. And when it comes to Lakshmi Ji, she knows so many people are hankering after her, but then she's after Lord's massage feet, Lord's lotus feet. So this shows how the devotees are looking out for Lord's lotus feet. You understand? You understand? That's the point.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. And now we are going to get into the which verse? 24th verse. A yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the Supreme Lord's thighs. Okay, the storehouse of all energy. Lord's thighs are whitish blue luster of linseed flower and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. Also, the yogi contemplates on his rounded hips, which are encircled by a girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down his ankles. So, what is this yogi trying to do here? He has completed meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. And now he moves into which part of the body? Which part of the limb? Anybody? Is it tough? You're able to imagine? He finished meditation on the lotus feet. And now he's going to which part?
The thigh.
Yes, the thigh.
The thigh,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Correct. You're right. And then after that, which part he's going?
Oh, waist, Mataji.
The waist.
The waist, yeah.
No. It's mentioned hips, na?
Hips.
Yes. It is mentioned in the translation. Look at it.
I can't see your
Okay.
Mataji, you can't see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're able to see?
No, Mataji.
Oh, you're not? I don't know why. 1 minute. Let me share again. Oh, the host has disabled sharing. Brinda, you have to give me sharing here.
Oh, okay, Mataji, I'll give you. Wait, allow. Wait,
I
mommy, I
lost-
have to give. Mommy, I have to give her the shading.
No, you can give me sharing.
She has already sharing, na? No? Okay. Sorry,
Yes,
how come it gone? Okay, sorry, Mataji.
No worries.
Yeah.
So, see in the translation what it is said. First it talked about thighs and then it talks about rounded hips.
Mataji, we can see your screen now.
Yeah. Good. You're able to understand?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So now we have to understand the personality. We'll understand this. The personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all strength, and his strength rests on the thighs of his transcendental body. The whole body is full of opulences, all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. The yogi is advised to meditate on the transcendental form of the Lord, beginning from the soles of the feet, and then gradually rising to the knees, to the thighs, and then finally arriving at the face. Can you see the transition, how he's gradually going part limb by limb? You're able to understand through the puppet? Dear kids, that's the important point.
Yes, Mataji.
Good.
Yes, Mataji.
The system of meditating on the Supreme Personality, where does it start? It starts from the lotus feet of the Lord. The description of the transcendental form of the Lord is exactly represented in the Archa Vigraha, the statue in the temples. Generally, the lower part of the body of the statue is covered with yellow silk. Okay? That is the Vaikuntha dress or the Lord wears in the spiritual sky. This cloth extends down to Lord's ankles. Thus, since the yogi has so many transcendental objectives on which to meditate, there is no reason for his meditating on something imaginary, as this practice of so-called yogis whose objective is impersonal. So impersonalists, what do they meditate upon? They have to meditate upon the personal. Even if they want to go to Brahmajyoti, they have to meditate on this personal form of the Lord. This is the valid process. The other processes, the so-called yogis, they practice something imaginary, they just meditate upon some random thing. That is not going to give them the desired fruit or the desired result. Only this authentic process, which is specified in the scriptures, this will get them to liberation or even attain Brahmajyoti. Okay, kids? So we will pause here because I think Mataji would have come, Revati Mataji. So we will pause here and then continue again from next class, verse number 25. Okay, kids?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
So, Mataji, today in the schedule it is written Charu Mataji. Is Charu Mataji available or Revati Mataji? Charu Mataji, your name only is written in the schedule.
Oh, okay, Mataji. I think when Sita Priti Mataji pinged me, she said Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay, okay.
That's
Mataji,
fine,
Charu Mataji, are you available, Mataji?
Mataji, I'm good, Mataji. I'm good either ways. Hare Krishna. Either ways.
Mataji, if you had made the PPT, you can go, Mataji, because your name was written. I don't know.
Okay. Sure,
But-
Mataji.
But Revati Mataji is also ready. Is it like?
No,
Yeah.
Mataji. Please carry on, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, Mataji.
Mataji. Sorry about that.
I'm good. If Revati Mataji wants to continue, please take over. No problem.
Yeah. Revati Mataji, go ahead, Mataji, otherwise.
It's fine, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, Mataji, you both decide, Mataji, whoever wants to.
Mataji, I would let you to continue, Mataji. I'll be logging off. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. I'm sorry for the confusion for this week,
No
Mataji.
worries. Absolutely no worries. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Charu Mataji, over to you, Mataji.
Thanks, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear friends. How are you all?
Good.
Good to hear you. Hello, Vrinda. Hello, Nisha.
Mataji, I want you to teach me.
So everybody had a good break. It's been a long
Yes,
break.
Mataji, I've been going to 3rd grade and I did my first test and I got 100. It was
Congratulations,
on the
Haribol. Haribol.
Really, I
guess what?
I did 2 tests and I got 100s on my math test, and I did 2 reading tests and I got 100s on both of those.
Yeah, I did math testing. I did science, reading, and math.
Wow.
I did science. I did science too. I put the science was that we put liquid in some water and then it turned into liquid water. Good job, Ryan. And then we also had a Komodo dragon My teacher has a pet tarantula. My teacher has a pet tarantula. Well, it's not. Well, Baldwin, that's my teacher. What? Oliver, did you see that?
Dragon. My science teacher has a bearded dragon. It's super cool.
Wow, that's really great. So everybody is having good time in school after the break. Looks like everybody is having.
I'm so happy. It's so much fun.
Happy to be back to school.
Mataji.
Yes, Ryan.
I already know the moral story. It's called the dog and the hen. I remembered it. We did that in the Bhakti Sangha class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did that. That's for the first time of moral story.
Oh, let's see if this moral story is same as what you are also thinking. Then maybe
It is same.
It's the same. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe towards the end we will cross verify. Okay. Or else if it is something new, we will hear from you. Normally, I tend to finish late, so we will get started, and in the middle we will take a break, and then we will have a discussion. Okay. So going to the next session, let's see what today's stories is going to teach us moral. So the first story is named as Friends Under Exploration. What does exploration means? Anybody have an idea?
I know, Mataji. It's by protecting each other, and no matter what, it's just like a cat and dog. It doesn't matter if a cats and dogs don't like to be friends. Dogs used to chase cats, but some dogs used to be friends with cats, and some cats used to be friends with dogs.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Exploration
That's what it shows in the picture.
Isha, you want to give it a try? I see your hands raised. You want to add anything?
Yeah, so exploration. So if you break it apart, explore is like you're exploring a jungle.
Yes.
And then Asian is I think like you're doing it. So like exploration.
Wonderful. Thanks, Isha. So friends are trying to explore something. Let's see what they are up to. Okay. In a village, there were so many animals, and out of all those animals in a home, there were pet animals, and one of them were dog and cock. They were thick friends. They were friends, both thick and thin. Every time they used to be together, they do everything together. So they were having a good time at home in this village. One day, Cock was talking to the dog, and then Cock was saying, "Hey dog, you know what? I think we have done enough of this village, and today I feel like venturing out. Do you want to come with me along? Normally we don't separate, so do you want to come?" Dog said, "Wow, that's a great idea. Yeah, we have been only in this village. Why don't we venture out? The forest is just the outskirts of this village. Come on, let's go out and then see what's there in the forest. We have never been there, and we just keep hearing from what these people are telling us. Let's see them ourselves." So then they decided to explore, and they were so happy. It is like good day, in a great day. They were walking, they were exploring, and they were having very fun time. It's like the friends going out together, right? Normally if two friends go out together, it's just that they have a lot of fun time. They discuss something, they see, and they try to remember everything, whatever they have in the past. So cock and dog were having similar discussion, and they were going for a long time. They were walking for a long time. And then suddenly the cock remembered, "Oh no, you know what? It's going to sunset. I think it's better we get back home. We can't stay in this jungle, in this forest." So they decided, okay, it's high time that we get back home. So dog said, yeah, that's true. We have to get back home. Let's get going. They were walking back home and they lost their way. They didn't know how to get back home, and it was past sunset and it started becoming dark and they couldn't see the way clearly. So then they decided that, oh no, I think it's too dangerous to walk further. What we will do is we will rest in this forest tonight, and tomorrow when the sun rises, then we will go ahead and then get back to our home. And dog also agreed, yeah, that's a good idea. In this dark, we can't walk anywhere further. And they found a tree, and it's a forest, right? There will be so many wild animals, so they don't want to stay in the land. So what they did was the cock found a tree and it started staying in the branch, and near to that branch there was a hollow wood in the tree. And then the cock said, "You better stay here. It's not safe to get down. We never know. Jackal might come, the wolf might come, any animal can come and then just grab us for a great meal. So it's better we stay on this tree branch." The dog, now left with no other option, has to stay in this hollow branch of this tree. And they were finding it very difficult because they were so used to staying in a home, right? It's so comfortable back home, and this forest is very difficult for them to stay tonight. But somehow they were trying to adjust, and this dog was not at all able to sleep. And whole night the dog was awake, and only during the sunrise dog finally came down and then took some rest, because now the dog knows that now it's safe because the wild animals will not roam around in the morning time. So the dog came down and then started sleeping. When the dog was sleeping, it was the sunrise, right? So what does the cock do when the sun was about to rise or rise?
Cock-a-doodle.
Cock-a-doodle. Yeah, it started.
Then you get disturbed.
Yeah. So out of its natural habit, it started saying cock-a-doodle. And everybody was able to listen in that forest. And one such animal was fox.
A jackal, a cunning animal.
Yeah, some wild animal. So here
the related to the fox.
So here you were able to listen to the sound, and then it started planning, oh, today I don't have to hunt for a long time. Today I don't have to go further down the forest. Today I have this cock as a meal. I'm so happy. So what the fox did was it went near to the tree and then it started talking to the cock and then said, "Hey cock, your voice is so sweet. Why don't you sing the song again?" And the cock looked down and then said, "Oh, you want to listen to the song again?" And then the cock started saying, "Cock-a-doodle-doo." This fox was thinking, why is this cock still staying in the branch? Okay, I think I have to do something else. And then the fox said, "Oh, you definitely sing very beautifully. It's so nice to hear your voice, but I'm having difficulty to see your expression. When you're up in the branch, I'm not able to see you at all. Your expression, your facial movement, the way you sing, so that I can also learn from you, right? So it's very boring for me in this forest. So if I learn from you, even I can do something in this forest from tomorrow." So now the cock understood what fox is trying to do. If it goes down, what will happen?
It will hunt it down.
Yeah.
And eat
The
it.
apples are very
And eat it.
Uh-huh. Finally, now cock came back to his senses. And then cock said, "Oh, you are having this plan? Okay, let me see what I can do." And it started saying, "Hey, fox, you know what? I can definitely come down, but normally I don't come down until my friend is available. You know, just go around the tree. My friend is also sleeping around the tree. Why don't you wake up my friend and both of us can sing together and it will be a pleasant song for you to hear." Now the fox was so happy. It started thinking to himself, really?
He thinks that the cock's friend is a chicken.
Yeah, very true. So it says, "Oh no, I was just planning for just one cock meal and now the cock also has brought a friend, which means I have 2 meals. Oh, I can enjoy for next 2-3 days. I don't have to worry at all." Then thinking in this way, fox came around and started saying, "Oh friend, where are you? Where can I see you?" And started looking around the tree and started venturing for it. And when it went near,
well, you can feast on a dog. Well, Jackal, you can feast on a dog if you want.
And it saw a dog. As soon as the dog saw this fox, it started barking because that's a natural habit for the dog, right? Like the cock, natural habit for the cock is to say cock-a-doodle. So similarly for a dog, it started barking, and the sound was just screaming all around the forest. For a moment, the fox got so scared, and "Oh no, did I make a mistake? Why is a dog here?" And then it started to get out of its way. He does not want to get into trouble, but the fox was so fast. He decided, okay, if we should not let this fox go alone, and definitely it will come back. So it started pouncing on this fox and it tried to do something. And finally, fox tried to escape from the hands of dog. And then the cock and the dog went back home safely. So, what could be the moral of the story be?
Mataji, could I tell it?
One by one. Okay. Yes, Balavinda, please go ahead.
Okay, so I was going to say that you should not be greedy for your food. You should work hard for it, and you should not be like that.
Very good. Thanks, Balavinda. Yes, Ryan.
So the moral of the story is if somebody tries to trick you to come down, like a kidnapper, or to open, like if a kidnapper asks you to knock on the door and open the door, the fox was also trying to do the same thing. He said, "Oh, rooster, can you please come down?" But the rooster was very clever.
Yeah.
So, and he knew that jackals are very cunning and closely related to a next clever animal, a fox. So he knows that a fox is one of and a jackal is one of a predator of a rooster. So that's why the dog and the rooster had to stay together to protect. So the dog could protect the rooster because the rooster and the dogs are friends. They can't leave them alone. Thank you, Mataji.
Very good, friend. Thanks for sharing great morals, great realization. Thank you so much. Let's see what the story says about the moral.
Mataji, can I say?
Sure. Go ahead, Shubhadra.
So, Mataji, so always think before you say.
That's true, right? Yes,
Mataji, can I say? Okay. So so the moral of the story, in my opinion, is always think before you speak. Same thing like my sister said, but in a different way. I said like always think before you speak.
That's so true. That's right, right? When I grew up, my mom used to say, before engaging your mouth, engage your brain. That's what my mom used to say. So at that time, I used to think, what is it all about? So definitely, right? Just like that, we can't do something and then later repent for it. Thanks, Shubhadra and Giridhari. And the story says, it's good to be clever, but not to show it, right? It's another way, yeah. Definitely, it's good to be clever, but we can't boast around and then say, you know what, I'm clever, I can do anything, I can bring the mountains down, I can do so many things. When time comes, prove it. Don't just brag about it. So the cock was so silent, the cock was just doing its job, and finally when the time came, the cock was able to prove its intelligence and get out of this situation cleverly. And another moral is the art of being wise is the art of analyzing a situation before coming to conclusion, right? So if we are in any situation which is not so pleasing or welcoming, we should take time and analyze it. How can I get out of it? Rather than crying or repenting or blaming others. So how can we become clever? Or who bestows cleverness? Any idea? How can we become clever all of a sudden? Yes, Shubhadra.
Mataji, we could be like sneaky. That's one way of being clever. Like being sneaky, and then like when they're not looking, then you could just catch up to them. Like, for example, one story I heard like once, I think, like there's a jackal, and I forgot the characters, but I'm just making one up. So there was once this jackal and the dog, for example. Like the dog, he's like sleeping, and for instance, the jackal is sneaking up behind the tree, but the dog hears footsteps because the dog's ears are really large and could be really sensitive. So
yeah,
that's like the dog is really clever than the jackal. So that's one way of being clever.
Thanks, Shubhadra. Thanks for sharing a great story. Isha, do you want to add anything?
Another way to be clever is to read books.
Read good books. Right?
And look it up on the computer.
Okay, that's good. Thanks, Isha. Ryan, I still see your hands raised. You want to add anything?
No, Mataji, I just left it on.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. Definitely, yeah, whatever you suggested about cleverness, everything stands good. We have to read good books. We have to associate with good people, like-minded people. Association is also important. right? So we have to be choicest association. Just like that, we don't want to mingle with everyone and correct our brain. Just 1 second.
Mataji, can I see?
Yes, please go ahead, Giridhari.
So another way is by showing cleverness is by like the person like having information. Like if you don't have the information, you can just ask people for information, ask questions. That makes improvement, and when you have improvements, then you can make better connections, which makes your intelligence increased.
Thank you, Giridhari. That's very nice. Thank you so much. So cleverness is like ability, right? And who bestows us this ability? Like in Krishna said in 10.38, chapter 10, verse 38, that Jnanam Jnanavatan Aham. So everything comes from Krishna. So if we follow the right principles, if we follow the instructions of our acharyas and predecessors, normally Krishna will see how stringently we are following, how dedicatedly we are trying to please Krishna. And once we please Krishna, it's just everything. We get everything. Even though whatever we have not asked, Krishna will bestow. So just keep doing whatever you are doing. You are so great. In young age, you are attending these classes. Just keep doing. Automatically, you will definitely shine there. Now, going to our next story. It's passenger in trouble. Why is this passenger in trouble?
He lost his bag.
He lost his bag. Let's see why what happened. So what happened was, in a sea voyage, there was this heavy ship. Okay. And like we have seen in multiple movies and other things, there was a big storm and there was roaring and there was a high tide and the ship couldn't even survive. So it just sank. The ship sank. So what happened to the passengers inside the ship? Even they all drowned. Among all those passengers, there was one passenger who was trying to fight for his life. And finally, he fought for the whole night. And finally, next day morning, he found himself at the shore. Okay, he was there lying there for a long time. After some time, this man came back to his senses and he started looking around and then saw, oh no, what happened? Oh, I finally am alive, but I'm stranded in this isolated island. Oh, I have to do something. So what he did? He started praying. Oh God, please save me, please help me, please send someone who can help, who can get me out of the stranded island. So he started praying earnestly. And because of these prayers, what happened? He was still praying till evening. He didn't not get any help for the whole day. So the night went like that. He had to stay in this isolated island for the whole night. He didn't expect. He thought, oh, soon after he make his prayers, the God will somehow miraculously send someone who can save him out of this stranded island. But nothing happened. So what happened? Those days gone by, and it was 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. He was waiting towards the shore, so that someone can help him and he can get out of this island. But what happened? Nothing improved. So at the end of week, he increased his prayers. He said, God, please help me. I am having a terrible life in this island. I didn't expect this, but please help me. His prayers were so earnest. It's like anybody can melt. But still what happened? Nothing happened. Nobody came for help. So finally he decided, okay, looks like I have to stay in this island for some time. So I just can't stay in the shore for days together. So I have to find a ways to live in a place, eat something, keep myself strong so that someday I can get out of this island. So he started looking for dry woods. And with the dry woods, he started making one small cottage out of it. And he started living. He made a small cottage or something like a hut, which you can see like this. So he have a place to stay. And with this, as this is seashore, he found some seafoods also. So that's how he was passing his days. And one day it so happened that his seafood was almost over and he has to get his next set of food. So what he did was he went out to gather additional food. Meanwhile, what happened? The hut catch some fire. How did the hut catch some fire? Like when he was trying to cook something, it was like if you see, if we go for a camping trip, they used to cook in an open ground. There's not be any gas or something, right? So they used with the matchstick, they used to burn the logs and then get something out of it, and then they try to cook. Similarly, this man was also trying to do that. But because he went unattended, he went to get additional seafood, his cottage got into fire. And when the man came back, he was disappointed. He said, my only savior is this house. And I was trying to live, even though the God did not help me at all. I was somehow trying to pass my days by living in this house and somehow hoping that one day someone will come near the shore and then get me out. Now, how will I stay in this isolated island? So he was disappointed. And then through his disappointment, he with open arms, he started talking to God. God, why are you doing this to me? I asked for help initially, you never provided help. And then finally, I managed to build a cottage and I managed to get some food. I did so many things. And now you have just took me everything out of me. I don't have anything. So how can I stay? Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? So similarly, he was asking multiple questions to God. And towards the end, what happened? And towards the shore, he saw that another boat was coming towards the shore and it came for his rescue. He couldn't believe. Rescue? I was waiting for rescue all while, and now someone has come to rescue me. He was so happy. So he got into the ship and then he asked the captain, thank you so much for helping me, but how did you first locate? I didn't really think that someone would really come. It's been long that I have been stranded on that island. I'm so happy that you are here. And the captain said, you know what? When we were just going around, we saw that there were some fire, there were some sparkling coming around the area wherever you were stranded. So we just wanted to stop by and then see if everything is okay, if it is just a tree which got into fire or if it was something else. So that's the reason we came and then we saw you there. This man was thinking to himself, oh, fire? Oh, is it because my home got into the fire? Is he talking about that? Oh, now everything started making sense to this man. He was actually very unhappy with the way God has treated him. But towards the end, now he started putting things together and now he can see that God was actually trying to help him. God was creating this situation so that somebody can really see that there is someone waiting in this island and take him out. And finally, man was so happy. And now he really started praying and thanking God for all that he did to him. Even though there was a delay, but still everything worked out well for this man. This is all the story is about. I think it's almost time. Let's quickly go through the moral, and if we have time, we will open up the forum for more discussions. Okay?
Mataji.
Yes, Shubhadra.
So, like, is this a real story of a man actually being stranded on an island?
Could be.
So it's realistic fiction, Mataji.
Realistic fiction. There are so many stories that's happening. Like this is one such story. I didn't really look for it. It's a realistic story, but thought that it would be something that we can take it up for some realizations.
Okay.
Thank you.
The setting is different, but in reality, it could be real.
It could be, yeah, anything. See, stories are not always fiction, right? So whatever that happens, they just, even the movies or other things, whatever that happens, they just add more things, more colors to it, and then project it in a more pleasing way. So it's not always fiction. So there will be some real, but on top of it, if they add more colors, then it becomes like some fantasy.
Yeah.
So the moral is the Krishna always have better plans for us. We might think something, but Krishna has a better plan. So we should always abide by that. We should not be angry or think that whatever we are thinking, whatever we want to happen, we don't want to do that. Okay. Never come to conclusion with our limited understanding. See, this man, he was thinking that whatever happened, the house burned, it was all the reason that the God had did something very terribly bad. He was not at all happy. But towards the end, that really saved him from the stranded island. So similarly, even in our situation, we should not come to a conclusion. If somebody did something different than what we were thinking, we should not think that, oh, why did he do like that? Maybe Krishna has a better plan, and that Krishna's plan is always great than what we have. And who's the real doer? Like in the situation, he thinks that he did something. He built a cottage. He did everything. And then he was trying to argue with God. I did so many things to keep myself going. Why did you do this to me? So he was questioning the God. He thinks that everything is done by him. But who's the real doer? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 14 says, it's not that one person is a doer. It's not I'm safe, I'm doing something. I'm not the real doer. There are 5 doers: the place of action, the performer, the various senses, and different kinds of endeavor. Endeavor is something like the actions which we do for that activity, and ultimately super soul, Krishna. So many things comes into factor. We should not think everything is done by us. We are the sole reason. If I say, if I'm trying to cook something or keep the house in tidy, I should not think I did everything. No. If in order for me to do that, Krishna gave me the ability to do it. If Krishna thinks that I can't lift my hand next moment, I won't be able to lift the hand. Because he allowed me to do, I am able to do. So whatever the situation may be, we should always think that there is someone behind it, and we should always abide by Krishna's plan. That is all we have for this week. I think we are past 2 minutes. I think there is another class. Is it Mataji? Anybody will?
Yeah, Mataji. Sorry, children, there is another class now. I have to close it.
Yeah,
I know you have very...
teaching. My mom's teaching.
You all have very sweet realizations, but sorry, I can't do anything. It is already late. Have a nice night. Go and have a dinner.
Mataji?
Okay? Bye.
Mataji, can we go to Madhava class?
Now it is not Madhava class. It is others class, but it is okay to attend. If you would like to attend, you can attend. Who was that?
Today we
have
Today we have Bhagavatam summary class by Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. So Mataji will be going through the entire chapter summary. Okay, so if any of you would like to join, you can continue, you can stay on the call.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.